What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel, Mystic Watch, and today we got a Should You Summon video for the new Melascula, plural, on Global Grand Cross. So I was expecting Melascula to come out sometime soon, because this is the, the general time period she came out in Global, but I was not expecting her to come out with her coin shop counterpart. So, if you guys are unaware of what I mean by this, the two Melasculas, one of them, this one that says Elite Demon, will be added into the coin shop at a later date. I don't know when they plan on doing that. And going forward, the same way how we have every single, going down here, we have every single Sins unit besides Red Escanor, who isn't out yet in the coin shop, we will have all 10 commandments in the coin shop as well. And we're kind of like already in that process in JP where a majority of the commandments already exist in the coin shop. And the way they did it over there is they would release a banner with 2 units. One of them would be added to the general pool and one of them would be included in the coin shop. For example, Estarossa was the first one that they did this with, and they added green Estarossa to the general pool, and no, other way around, sorry. Green Estarossa was a coin shop unit, and red Estarossa was in the general pool, and green Estarossa is very, very good. Now here, Melascula came out way earlier on, the blue one, and the red one got added on later on. Yeah. So, we'll see how they plan on going forward, and when they actually end up adding these to the coin shop, and they will be 10 coins, 10 commandments, 10 coins, right? And 7 coins discounted. So let's take a look at what they actually do. I have both of their info opened up on... That's the wrong one. That's also the wrong one. There we go. So, let's start off with the blue one, because she'll be in the general pool, and more, I'll say, it's weird. Like, you can say, like, less guaranteed, but maybe more accessible. Like, you might just get it randomly. So starting off with their passive, increases the hero's basic stats by 1% for each orb filled in the ultimate move gauges of both allies and enemies. This means that you can technically have a 30% basic stat increase if between all 3 of you and all 3 of your opponents just happen to have their ults on at the same exact time. That's not going to happen. So on average, this is somewhere in the middle. You usually have around like 10 to 15% basic stat increase, which is a good it's a good amount. Her commandment is, at the end of every turn, applies 2 ignite effects for 5 turns on hero who have not used skills in PvP. Meaning, if you just didn't use a card that turn, you get hit with ignites. Nice. Darkness Whip. Inflicts damage equal to 220% of attack on one enemy. And then Infects is her rank 2 and rank 3. So this is the same move as Demon Meliodas, the red one, where he just rank 2 and 3, he uses whatever move and infects. Down here we got Demon Flash, inflicts a detonate equal to 100% of attack on all enemies. So this is based off of the opponent's ultimate move gauge. Now, here is the thing. We're actually going to... We should take a look at this, because detonate got buffed on JP. So it might not necessarily be the same way here. Yeah, you see here how it's only 15%? I'll keep that in mind. So this is based off of JP's... this website is based off of JP changes. So Detonate, if you guys do use Grand Cross database for your info, just keep in mind that Detonate is not 20%, and it is 15% on Global, and will end up getting buffed later on. When, I forgot who came out that they buffed it with either Dien or who's the other guy? Droll? Like, one of these two was the reasons they buffed it. They have Detonate on one of their moves. Okay. So, going back down, you got inflicts damage equal to 560% of attack on one enemy, and lifesteals 40% of the damage. It's a good amount of lifesteal right there. Now, none of these people, like none of the commandments, currently have fate links. So they don't have a second ultimate or anything like that at the moment, but I'm sure like they're gonna wait for some event or something to add them on. So there's no, there's no second ultimate here that does more damage. At the moment, it's just this. Now let's take a look at their base stats. And see, you can see here that Melascula has a massive amount of lifesteal. 30% lifesteal, sorry, 50% base lifesteal. And on top of that, her other stats, like she has a decent amount of crit defense and crit resistance, okay, 20%. Very low crit chance, so don't worry about that, just assume it's not there. Okay amount of attack, a very high amount of pierce rate, 60% is not bad at all. So in terms of a good unit, she is really strong, but she just never got used that much on JP, and it was probably just the meta. It's like she's not a bad unit, it's just she wasn't used mostly because of the fact that pen teams and resist teams were just super strong. They're like way overtuned, right? So like pen teams with Lilia, Demon Meliodas, Hauser, or Escanor tend to just wipe everyone off the face of the earth in 2 turns. So her lifesteal is almost negligible, right? Well, that's pretty much what it comes down to. Like if pen team didn't exist, I'm sure she would be a really good unit. Like maybe not top tier, but right below that. And I do want to try her out. I don't think she got, you know, her time to shine on JP at all. And there were people who were using her a decent amount with within top 100. It's just like one of those more off-meta teams. So going on to Elite Demon Melascula, what is the difference here? So the same exact commandment, Return of the Dead, fixes HP at 1 for 3 turns when an ally hero is defeated. Pretty much, you can't kill someone because of her passive. It works on one person, right? And it's a one-time use, limit once, effect removed upon a hero death, applies when entering battle. So if you kill her, this doesn't work. And I gotta double check if she keeps the person alive for 3 turns straight, or if it's just, I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's what it is, but I didn't really use her on JP, so that is fine. But in terms of what her other moves do, oh yeah. Okay, and then her first and second skills are, first skill is Death Stab, inflicts Scorch, increases damage dealt by 25% per ignite on the target, synergizes very well with her commandment. And then her other move is Spirit Consume, inhales 8% of max HP of all enemies for 2 turns. So the first time we see this, decreases the target's max HP and recovers owned by the amount decreased once. So similar to, you can think of it this way, right? It is kind of like Bond's Snatch effect, where he takes part of their basic stats, but in a little bit different light, I guess. 8% of all enemies max HP, and she just stacks it on. So it's pretty cool. Same exact ultimate, and I think you can make some cool teams with her, and the fact that she keeps people, or I think she only keeps the 1 person alive, you can probably make some good teams here. And you can see here that she was used a good amount in geared PvP. I wonder with UR gear, maybe she could be viable. But in terms of should you summon, at the end of the day, let's go back to here, right? Should you summon, both of these units are not necessary by any means, and the second one is just a coin shop unit. So you can get her at the end of the day, later down the line. Does not have to be here at any moment. And then they'll always bring back, every now and then, the coin shop banner, where they'll toss all the units on there that are in the coin shop, and you can usually do like 7 multis and go at it. So that's usually a good time to pick these people up. But in terms of upcoming units that, you know, would be really unfortunate if you didn't have gems to summon for, main one would be Derriere. Red Derriere is super important for things like final boss battle scoring very high, or guild boss going for a high score, and getting dupes of that Derriere is super important. And she is a banner unit and not a coin shop unit, so hunting for dupes may not be as easy as you think. And then besides that, all of the limited units, or the original character units, tend to be decent. None of them are game breaking, but it's nice to pick them up while you can, and the fact that they're guaranteed and only 242 gems, they're usually a better deal than something like this. You know, do your 1 multi or 2 and then leave it at that on the banner, but I wouldn't really summon for Melascula. You can make some fun, quirky teams But at the end of the day, you know, Valenti, Lilia, Demon Meliodas are gonna be kind of like the kings of PvP at the moment. And if that is, you know, if PvP is your focus, then you don't really need Melascula. And even then, there's no like PvE content that requires her at the moment. But I don't think she's bad. I think she's just above average, but not good enough to be kind of contending for a super high spot. More for people who just have gems to blow. If you're like, let's say you're around like my gem, I wouldn't really recommend summoning. You never know when they're going to drop Darriere. Or even like, you know, Green Esterosa will be a great unit to summon for. And will be much more used in both story and PvP. So, a lot better options. There are good banners coming up. But at least the main, like, you know, every other week where a banner was coming and you felt like you had to summon moment is gone. We're getting hit with these, you know, easy skippable banners. So that's my opinion. You can skip if you want to watch. I think Seaton made a video on the blue Melascula. You can check that out if you want to see what the Melascula actually does. I'll probably do a video on each of them just because they are fun and more for content purposes. But I don't think I'm going to invest too much into them because getting a unit all the way up to 86 star and then I don't even know what is did they add new engravings? I didn't take a look at. They did. Okay. So who did we get added? We got Griamore added, Elione, and Melascula. Interesting. Okay. This is also a common trend where whenever a new unit comes out, they will add their UR or engraving immediately, and then they'll toss in another person or two. So expect that to happen for some time. That's it. Hopefully you guys enjoy, and I'll see you all next time.